Today we're taking a look at the FOCBOX and how to program it. We've had many customers email us with issues they've experienced, and once we've shared these steps, 99% of the time their issues go away. To start, we are going to be using the most up-to-date official PC version of VESC TOOL. Not the FOCBOX UI, not the Inertion app, not the Android VESC tool, not the unofficial VESC tool for Mac, the PC version. Unfortunately, a lot of those apps haven't been updated in quite some time and are really causing a lot of problems with the FOCBOX. So use the official PC version. I'll leave a link in the description below for the free download. Today I'll be using numbers and values that apply to our Interstellar Electric Skateboard kit. If you aren't building our kit and have your own build, I'll tell you how to find your own values throughout this video. Before we begin, we need to make sure that everything is plugged in and ready to go on the FOCBOX itself. Begin by opening each of the relevant ports. Next, connect your phase wires. Order doesn't matter, but keep the groups of 3 separate. After that, plug in each of the sensor wires. Be sure that each of your motor sensor wires and phase wires are being plugged into the same side. Next, plug in the power button. In our case, we are using a UART port. If you're using a PPM based remote, you'll want to use the PPM cable that was included with your FOCBOX with your receiver instead. Plug the receiver cable into the COM port. With our Interstellar kits, we have an additional voltage monitor cable, so we'll plug that in right here. Connect the battery in the FOCBOX using the XD60 connectors. Plug the FOCBOX into your PC with the included USB-C cable. Now power on the FOCBOX. Once we're in the VESC TOOL software, click on Auto Connect. You may see a message appear on the screen letting you know that you need to update your firmware. Next, navigate to the Firmware menu. Click on Unity, VESC Default, and then the Download button. Click Yes. During the firmware update, don't touch anything. Don't unplug the USB, don't turn your computer off, don't disconnect power from the FOCBOX, just hold tight. The firmware update should take about a minute. Once the firmware is done, you'll need to wait at least 10 seconds before doing anything. While we wait, click OK. Navigate back to the welcome screen. Click on Auto Connect to connect again. Once connected, we'll run our motor detection. Click on Setup Motors FOC. Medium, then yes. Now here's where your numbers might be different than ours if you don't have the Interstellar kit. The Interstellar kit uses a 10S battery, so we're going to enter 10. The battery included with our kit is a 10S 4P pack. Each cell is rated at 3 amp hour capacity. 4 cells times 3 amp hours is 12 amp hours. So we will enter 12. If you're using a different battery, enter your battery's capacity rating. Next, we'll need to type in how many teeth we have on our motor pulley and our wheel pulley. In our case, we have 15 and 38. And we are using 97mm wheels. Now select Run Detection. Keep in mind that this will spin your motors and wheels, so be sure that you move your motors to a safe place and allow them to spin. Click OK. Your motors will make some loud, scary noises, spin quickly, then slowly, then spit out some data. Now we need to set our motor direction. Again, this is going to spin our motors, so be sure that they're in a safe place so they're allowed to spin and aren't going to cause any damage. Click the forward button. If the motor is spinning in the right direction, you can move on. If the motor is spinning in the wrong direction, you'll need to check the inverted box. Do this for both motors so they're both spinning the direction you want. Once your motor direction is set, click Finish. Navigate over to the General tab under the Motor Settings menu. Tab over to the Current Settings. Motor Current Max and Motor Current Max Brake will get autofilled after motor detection. You can leave them as is. Battery Current Max is another area where your numbers may differ. In our case, the Interstellar kit battery can output 60 amps. Since we are running 2 motors, we need to divide our possible output by 2. So we'll need to fill in 30 amps. Fill in -8 for Battery Current Max Regen. Remember to save your motor settings as you complete each of these windows by clicking on this button. Next, tab over to the voltage settings. For the 10S 4P, fill in 30.5 and 28. If you're unsure what to select here, you can use the tool at the bottom of the screen, select how many cells you have and click Apply, and then those numbers will get autofilled for you. Next, tab over to the RPM settings. The FOCBOX can handle an RPM of 80,000 and -80,000. We can skip wattage, temperature, BMS, and advanced. Save your work once again. So we finished programming the one motor, but now we need to program the other. So click here on the second item in this list. This will switch us to the other side of the FOCBOX. Again, our current max data has been autofilled. And then now we need to enter the same data as before. And again, save your work. And lastly, we'll need to alter a few remote settings. Navigate to the General tab and be sure that UART is selected. If you're using a PPM-based remote, there is a bit more setup that goes along with PPM remotes. I'll leave a link to another one of our tutorials below. Navigate to the VESC remote section. I typically like my brakes to only be brakes. I don't want them to start turning in reverse while I'm laying on the brakes, so I'll turn Smart Reverse off. Tab over to Throttle Curve. In this section, we'll smooth out our brakes and acceleration. A negative number is smoother and a positive number is more aggressive. Fill in negative 20% for both. You can also play around with these values to suit your preferences. Next, switch the mode from polynomial to natural. Save your remote settings by hitting this button over here. And that's it. We can disconnect the FOCBOX by clicking this button here. And at this point, it is safe to power down your FOCBOX and unplug it from your computer. And that's all there really is to it. I hope this helps some of you complete your builds. Please let me know if you have any other questions in the comment section below. We're very active down there. And thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.